Hello there, YouTube. It's been a minute since I have come on and made an update. Excuse my squeaky toilet. So the last time I came on and made an update, I was trying to figure out what my next step was in my weight loss surgery world update. And at the time, I didn't know if I had a lot of issues going with my band or what was going on. The fact is I had a slip of my lap band that I've had since December of 2009. It slipped after I had my band unfilled and refilled after I had my daughter in 2013. So everything was fine until I had a unfill and refill in 2013. I didn't really know what was going on, but I was having really bad acid reflux and just weight gain I couldn't really explain, and I was throwing up things that I shouldn't be able to throw up, but I was throwing up, and it was a weird compilation, if you will. So, went to my surgeon's office back in July of 2015, trying to figure out what was going on and how I could correct it and all that stuff. Only to find out that they needed to empty my lap band and see if that would help my acid reflux, which didn't. See if it would help my throwing up random things, which didn't. More or less, point of the story is I went through the whole process of finding out what was wrong with my lap band, and after having my band filled for almost 6 years, and then unfilled after having my daughter, and then refilled, it kind of slipped, if you will, causing acid reflux 24/7, and just not sitting correctly in my body. So I was throwing up a lot of things that were healthy, or just wasn't doing its job, sadly. So started going through the motions of insurance and figuring out what that meant for me as far as having my lap band taken out or replaced, or what's the next step and all that stuff. So with the process of having my scope done, having blood work done, all that stuff. So I had all exams done, and only to find out that I need to have my lap band removed, and I am not able to have a sleeve or lap band done in replace of what I currently have. I cannot have a sleeve done because where the incision will be done is right where my lap band is placed, and the amount of scar tissue and acid reflux that I currently already have would be a problem for that. So my surgeon's office recommended a lap band to gastric bypass revision. So for the past 6 months, I'd say I've been going through the loopholes of trying to requalify for having another bariatric surgery, which the long story version of it is I went through the dietitian classes, I went through the dietitian piece of it, I went through every single piece they wanted me to go through. I went through up until December of 2015. I finally just said, you know what, go ahead and submit whatever I have currently on file and see if they will actually accept it as a current bariatric patient. So they submitted all my current insurance information to insurance, and it came back that it was actually approved. So I have been approved to have a lap band revision to gastric bypass, and my surgery date, which I just found out, will be January 26th of 2016. So I'm terrified in the sense of, in 2009, when I went through this entire process to begin with, I was very much knowledgeable of knowing that my surgery was just going to be a piece of plastic inserted around my stomach to make smaller to make portions smaller going down, hence the lap band. Now it's very much different with the type of surgery that I will be having. So it's a lot more information, a lot more knowledge, and I'm scared and I'm hopeful and all that comes with it. I mean, I think that's expected. A lot of people have asked how I went through the process, and literally, just like I said, I was going to meet with my surgeon and went through the problems of having acid reflux and throwing up too much. Then they emptied my band, and then it was still happening, and then they did a scope and they saw I had scar tissue and still had damage from acid reflux. The doctor recommended I have bypass instead of sleeve, and I mean, it's just been a long 6 months of trying to figure out what to do. The most hard and damaging part for me has been starting at such a high weight, which was 316 pounds, and then getting down to a low weight for me of, let's say, 175 pounds, and then having a child, and then a slip band, and getting up to 260 pounds, and trying to address the problem before it went further. I don't want to get back to where I started. I don't want to be as heavy as I was. It's terrifying. I don't want to be that statistic that gains as much weight or heavier than where they started their initial weight loss surgery process. So I'm trying to address it head on, and have been for the past 6 months, and finally got approval. So thank God I have approval for lap band to gastric bypass revision surgery on January 26th. So I will be a gastric bypass patient, and that is scary and exciting and all of that rolled into one. So I just wanted to come on and make an update because I had made that announcement on my weight loss Facebook, but hadn't made a video explaining that process. So that is where I'm at. And the more I know, the more I will give detail to, but I have an answer at least, and a light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, and progress and all that. So when I know more, I will update more. My 2-week pre-op diet begins on January 12th. So at that time, I will check in with what my weight is. It'll be the beginning of my process number 2, if you will. And I want to make this stick forever. And I knew the first time going into my first weight loss surgery that my intent was to be able to have a child. And I did. And I have a beautiful 2.5-year-old girl. And I am content with not having any more children. So I know now is my time to look at the revision aspect as the end chapter. So I'm hopeful and thankful for that process. So anyway, I will be back to document here going forward as a lap band to gastric bypass patient starting on January 12th for my pre-op diet, and January 26th as my surgery date. So there's that. I hope you all are well, and I will see you around pre-op time. Okay, bye.